He has torn through all opposition like a wild animal to get to this point. A championship match in the main event of Backlash.
What do you mean, like an animal? You're looking at survival of the fittest in action. I wouldn't be surprised if we got a new champion here tonight.
Ding, ding, ding. The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the WWE Championship. Making his way to the ring from West Newbury, Massachusetts, weighing in 248 pounds, Cena.
If there's any fear in the heart of the champion, he's doing an amazing job of concealing it.
But I hope the champ has enough sense to be worried, though. If he's not afraid of losing his championship tonight, he's underestimating the challenger.
And also from West Newbury, Massachusetts, weighing in 238 pounds, he is the WWE Champion, Miguel Cena.
He's not going to get caught with that one.
Boy, this John Cena is his own biggest fan. How come all of these rappers can't talk about anything except how great they are?
I don't think there's anything wrong with that, King. Cena's got some impressive accomplishments to his credit. Oh boy, the adrenaline is pumping. I think this could be the beginning of the end.
No, it can't end like this. Come on, do something quick. Well, from the looks of things, it's not hard to tell how this one's going to go.
What are you talking about, King? I think this is still an extremely competitive match that could go either way.
You know, JR, it's obvious that the only exercise you get is stretching the truth or jumping to conclusions.
Well, judging from the shape I'm in, I don't appear to be doing too much of either, King. Pretty good, though, I must say.
I can't believe he countered that one.
He countered that and made it look easy.
Oh, no. I don't like the looks of this.
He's got the fans behind him, King, and his opponent, well, watch out.
Oh, no. This is terrible. You can't let your opponent build this kind of momentum.
Well, all I can say is someone's been eating their vitamins and saying their prayers. This could be a pinfall. 1, 2. He's got his opponent in position. I think he's going for it.
No, it can't be. The FU.
Looks like he's trying for a pin here.
Boy, these fans have got something on their minds, JR.
Well, they paid for their tickets, King, and they've got a right to say whatever they want.
Oh, boy, this looks like an all-or-nothing move.
I don't think he's climbing up there for the view. Look at this. Look at this. You talk about a house of fire, you're seeing it right here.
Yeah? Well, somebody better put out that fire, or this one's not going to end well.
This match is going to continue until someone's completely debilitated. And considering the resiliency of these superstars, that's not going to be easy.
That's for sure. No one in this match is going in without a fight.
And I wouldn't expect any less from them, King. Like them or not, you've got to respect the tenacity of each and every WWE.
There's the pin!
Why? I think this crowd has decided to exercise the right of free speech.
God bless the First Amendment, JR.
Boy, what a match. I wouldn't even hazard a guess.
Oh, sure. Now the fans start to cheer for him. Now that he's in the driver's seat.
Come on, King. He's had the crowd behind him all match. And now it's paid.
He's going up, JR. This could be big.
There aren't many superstars as diversely talented as John Cena. He's as good in the ring as he is on the microphone, and that's saying something.
I won't argue with you about Cena's mic skills. He sure can't talk a good game. But when it comes right down to it, I don't think he can back it up.
King, you're as crazy as a pet loon. But you happen to notice how many times Cena's worn gold around his waist? Seems to me like he's got no problem putting his money where his mouth is. These superstars are going to put each other through wrestling hell tonight.
They've already got a pretty good start on that, JR.
They have indeed, King. I don't think there's an ounce of quit between them.
Yeah, and that's where things get dangerous. If you're too proud to admit that it's not your night, you might wind up risking your career for a single match.
But at the same time, King, no one makes it up the ladder without pushing themselves to the very limit. It's a very fine line to walk. These superstars are in terrific shape, and that comes as no surprise. Look at him feeding off the energy from this capacity crowd. He's unstoppable.
You can't ever count on these fans, JR. They're fickle, and they'll abandon you in a heartbeat.
Rope break.
Looks like someone's heading for the high-rent district. What does he think he's doing? He's just showing off for the crowd now.
He's wrestling the match his way, and I think it's going to pay off, mark my words.
Can you believe we actually get paid to do this job, JR?
It's like a dream come true, King. Except when I have to sit here and listen to you drool over the deep.
Come on, JR.
Don't tell me. This is too much. These superstars will stop at nothing to win this match.
Well, that's the attitude you've got to have to make it to the top, JR. It's not pretty.
He's all fired up now, King, and I'd hate to be on the receiving end.
I don't think his opponent's got a hope of hurting him now. I don't think that these superstars have even contemplated the fact that they might lose.
I'm sure they have. That's not the kind of attitude you come in with and expect to pick up the win.
You're right about that, JR. If you can't see yourself having your arm raised by the referee when it's over, don't bother showing up. I think these superstars have a legitimate beef with each other, JR.
So do I, King. I'm not so sure their issues with each other are going to be solved with one match.
I hope not. I'd love to see them go at it again and again. You can look at any professional sport you want, JR, and you won't find more. This is a mistake, JR. Everyone knows that overconfidence costs superstars matches.
That might be true, King, but all I see is a very confident superstar who's got everything going his way.
Wow! Listen to these fans, JR.
You can fool some of the people all of the time, and all the people some of the time, but there's no fooling the WWE Pitch capacity crowd is solidly behind their superstar. Look at this.
Wow! Can you be any more biased, JR? How about some fair and balanced commentary? This is going to be a match, JR. I think these superstars genuinely hate each other.
There's no love lost between these competitors, that's for sure. If looks could kill, somebody would be pushing up daisies right now.
And you've got to admit, that makes for a much more interesting match, JR.
It sure does. But I just hope these superstars can settle their differences in the ring and leave it at that. You talk about the future of WWE, and you're looking at it in John Cena.
Oh, come on, JR. John Cena's a thug. You know it. I know it. And all of these people know it. It makes me sick that he's allowed to be a WWE superstar.
I don't know how you can say that, King. Cena has definitely...
Oh, come on. You got to stop this guy before he really gets going.
I don't think that's going to happen, King. He's built up too much momentum to be stopped now. I tell you, King, sometimes I get exhausted just watching these superstars compete.
I know what you mean, JR. I don't think most people appreciate what incredible athletes these WWE superstars really are.
You've got to have some excellent conditioning to be able to do what they do.
Well, that's the name of the game, JR. You got to keep moving. No dog ever peed on a moving car.
Oh, that's a lovely image, King. I'd ask you where you come up with this stuff, but I don't think I want to know, quite frankly.
These superstars are beating the heck out of each other, and this crowd can't get enough of it.
It's what they paid to see, King, and they're getting their money's worth tonight.
They sure are, JR. There's no question these superstars are earning their paychecks. Here's the cover, JR.
1, 2. This is Raw action at its finest. That's why Raw is the #1 brand of sports entertainment.
You got that right, JR. You're not going to see this kind of action on SmackDown.
Not on SmackDown or anywhere else. There's, oh no, it looks like he's donned the proverbial crimson mask.
There's so much blood, the Red Cross ought to be sponsoring this one, JR.
I don't know if he's even going to be able to finish this match with a gusher like that. I'll be honest with you, King. This is not the way I thought this match would go at all.
Me neither, JR. I guess that just goes to show that anything can happen in the WWE.
I think, oh man, I think we're about to see a high-risk move here.
Any superstar shows the slightest hint of weakness, they've lost the match.
That's for sure. No matter how beat up you are, you can't ever let your opponent know the extent of your injury.
And that's easier said than done, JR. The human body can only absorb so much punishment.
And there you have it. We've got a new champion.
I told you he'd go home with the gold.
And here he goes, adding a little insult to injury.
For a little injury to injury.
I think he's sending a message to every other potential contender.
No doubt about it. And I think it's being received loud and clear.
He's really rubbing it in.
Good for him. You can't tell me his opponent would have done any different. Finish.